Everyone, welcome to our stream today. Taking Concorde, British Airways. This is our first stream of our home playlist of streams. So, when we flew out the other time, we left Concorde in the middle of nowhere. We left her out in Kai Tak stranded. Today, we will be flying back all the way from Kai Tak to Haneda initially, and then from Haneda, we'll be continuing our flight off to Honolulu from there, and then from there off to San Francisco. So a lot of stuff to do. Flew out the other time. Oh, I'm getting Wi-Fi problems, guys. Whoa. Anyway, okay, there we go. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. This is Okay, so yeah, we're going to be flying all the way back from Kai Tak to London Heathrow in stages of flight, and our first one today is to take us back to Haneda, where we flew into Kai Tak from. So we got a fun departure out up through the sort of valley, as it were, of cities out into the distance. It's starting to become daylight here. It's early dawn. I've set the time to. In real life, it's about midnight. So I sort of skipped the time back a little bit. But it's starting to become daylight there. And as a result, we should be taking off with some cool lighting. So if we hop inside the flight deck, here it is. Let's get the window closed. It was a bit hot, so I sort of closed the window. Right, we've got to do a bit of INS programming first before we can do anything else, and then we'll get going. Sound is good. Thank you. Alright, so first waypoint then. Technically it's 1 to 2. It's going to be Chengdung, so it is north 2213. Point 2. And it's going to be east. Remember that. 114. 018. Waypoint 2, Magog is north 2217. Mr. Jones, hello, and KC, brilliant, thank you. Hi guys, how you doing? 2217 point. Oh, I've got confused. Nope, there we go. And it's going to be east 11549. This is the long process of programming in the waypoints. Shouldn't be too long. There's only a couple on our route today. Today we're going to be travelling 1,700 miles. So quite short flight for Concorde, and we should aim to do that in about an hour and 40 minutes or so of airtime, depending on the winds and things. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, that's the aiming. That's what we're aiming for. So we'll do a bit of ground prep and then we'll try and get going. If any of you guys have Concorde, do come join us along for the flight. 52433.6 east 120. Getting there, almost there. Then I'll just catch up with the chat, sorry. 25106 east 121 31. 8.7, we can only do 9, so we're almost there. 25384 east 12252.0. Waypoint 8 at the bottom. 26010 east 124 000. And waypoint 9 onto the other page. Onto the page, final one. This is Gakia. I'll show you our routing today. I've tried to sort of keep us over the middle of the ocean as much as possible to keep us supersonic. Although we are going to clip over the top of northern Taiwan, so we'll have to apologise for that as we go over. Harry Top, hi, how you doing? There we go, sun's starting to come up there. That's nice. Right, let's get the routing up. Let me get up the routing so you guys can see what we're up to. Here we are. So our routing for today. You can see we're going to go out sort of west, trying to get us out into the sea so we can keep our acceleration here. We'll break this sort of sound barrier across here, and then going across Taipei, we'll or be supersonic, so we'll just have to apologise for that. There was no other airways I could take, and then we go nicely all the way across East China Sea, staying south of Japan, so we come straight up into the bay, and we can keep our speed up for as long as possible there. Looking to land 3-4 right today into Tokyo, but of course that'll depend on the weather. And then, interestingly, our departure for today, we're going to be flying a sort of combination of a couple, heading out sort of southish over the VOR, and then left onto our sort of track towards Ilato. So a bit of a mixture of things there, so should be exciting. Let me get the stuff back. Right, let's perform a little walk around of Concorde. Free camera. Right, let's have a little look around. There's a couple of people here. There's an A320 here pulled up, Air China. I think he's I don't know where he came from, but I think he's come in and landed. There's a signaller there. Right, Concorde then on the ground. All's looking good. Tyres are looking nice and clean. No major problems there. It's looking very nice. The fuel guys fueling up. We've got 60 tons of fuel on board today. A little bit less than our usual sort of 80 or so, so a little bit light. Main carriers are looking good. Catering at the back here, make sure he's not damaged anything. All the way up to the tail, all looking fine. Very nice. The plane is in good condition for our flight. Brilliant. Lovely. All looking very nice. Okay, back inside then. Let's get the rest of our stuff done. So let's get these master CBs all on and get the anti-school systems on too. Right, good. They're all on. INS has been aligned. I did that before we sort of started. So go down here, we'll turn on our TCAS into 2000. And we'll get the mode C on. Well, that seems all good. Right, we've got our information up there. It's just, I'm just sorting out some things, bear with me. Brilliant, right. Let's get our navigation stuff up then. So, we're going to be flying to the 1155 on our 136 bearing initially. And we're going to head straight over the top of that. Then I've got this direction set up as this is towards, this 271 radial is towards our next waypoint for the INS navigation to come in. So we'll have to be catching that. In fact, let's set 136 here. And if we just continue to track on that heading, that'll be good. Right, well initially we'll climb up to, what was it on? About 7,000 initially. Once we get there, we'll level off, build some speed, and then we'll continue up with our climb. 250 knots as well, looking for. That seems all good with me. Right, turn off some of the lights, it's quite bright. The sun's coming up. Alright, so let's get rid of some of the stuff then on the aircraft. We've got a lot of people around the airplane. Let's get rid of the catering guys. And the stairs will get closed up. I think the fuel truck's probably fueled up now. As I said, on board the aircraft then we've got 61 tons of fuel, capable of taking us about 2,200 miles. So plenty to spare. So that's what we want, that's good. Hydraulic warnings and things, that's fine. Let's get our engine feed pumps on then. Feed pumps are all online. Let's get the cross feeds open. Air feeds all open. Fuel heaters to auto. Secondary air hose also. Engine idle limiters to low. Aircraft seats all ready. We'll go through our quick start checklist just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Nav lights, yes, they're good. Throttle master's good. INS good. Engine feed pumps, anti-collision lights go on. We'll make our call when Unicom and get going. Unicoms, Bevo Concorde 1 is on the ground at Kai Tak, going IFR to Tokyo Haneda, starting up engines and taxiing out for runway holding point runway 13, Kai Tak traffic, Bevo Concorde 1. So yeah, so we don't need pushback or anything. We're just going to taxi out forwards and go left. So we'll just get the relights going for then engine number. 2's flashing, good start. engine starting. So yeah, today's flight, because we're going out nicely across the sea, we should be able to get up pretty quickly to supersonic speeds. Yeah, and then we don't need, as I said, we don't need pushback, so we'll just get the engines fired up here. We're quite lucky in our position here. We don't need any push. Why am I going to Japan? It's a good way to get. It's about 8 hours in a normal subsonic aircraft from here to Honolulu, whereas it's only 5 hours from Japan. So by doing this little leg for our next stream from Haneda to from Tokyo Haneda to Honolulu, we should be able to make it. Whereas I was a bit worried we wouldn't be able to make it. So I'm glad. So that's why we're doing this little extra leg. Right, let's dull down some of the floodlights. Okay, engine number 3 starting. Just get rid of some of the floodlights. There we go. Ooh. Good, there we go. Floodlights are off, that's nice. Right, engine number 2 starting, engine number 3 is starting. Turn on the boost conditioning valve for engine number 2. Engine number 3 is just finishing up starting. Get the stuff on for that. Generators, hydraulics, boost pump. All good. Right, engine number 4 will light up. I'll get the ground crew to disconnect the GPU. Good. Right, we'll get on our taxi lights then. We'll drop the nose visor. Fantastic. Engine 4 starting. Let's get the fuel pumps in for that one. There we go. Way big bright lights on the taxi light there. Powers up, plane starting. We'll lower the nose fully into the taxi position. Getting there. Right. Let's get some buttons on it. VOR set. We've got the climb rate set. We are ready. There we go. We'll start up engine number 1. Hit the relight switch. Okay, let's get the gens on for 4. Let's isolate the SSBs. Let's get the generators on for the cabin guys. Shut off the crossbleeds for their side. They are now on. We'll get the brake fans on. The limiters are good. Recirculation valves shut. Engine control schedule can go to flyover. Looking down to the bottom, and then TCAS is now all on. The VOR is tuned up. We're on to Unicom at the moment. Get our weather radar gain turned up as I want to know if there's any weather. Test on. We can see we've got some traffic around. Who's that? Someone climbing out. 900 feet. Can't see them. That's all right then. We need to get the fuel in. There we go. That engine's now starting. Taxi lights on. On the pedestal, everything seems good. And in here, everything is good. So, let's go through our pre-taxi checklist. Brake fans are on. Engines 1 for 2. Well, we've got 2, 3, and 4 running. We'll get there. Nose wheel steering. We'll check as we start moving. Master warning panel is only engine 1. Brake fans are on. Engine idle switches are in the low position. The stall warnings need to be tested. Let's test them up here. That one, no. That one. Warnings. Hear the noise. Nice. Good test. We're happy with that. And engine number 1 has finished starting. So, boost conditioning valve off. Cross speeds off. Hydraulics off. Engine 1, gen on. Brakes we'll check as we get rolling. The electricals are all on. No warning lights. Aircraft's ready to go. Let's start taxiing. Hong Kong traffic, high tech. Super Concorde 1 taxiing out holding point runway 13. Okay, parking brake. Released. Hold on the brakes, get a bit of power, and start rolling. Here we go. We're moving. Ignore the guy, unfortunately he's there. Right, quick brake check. Brakes slowing us down, we're good. Right, brakes off, bit of power. Start rolling out. To the whole point. I think there's someone making their approach, I'm not sure. So we'll make sure it's clear when we begin to line up. You don't want any weight turbulence. And we'll bring the throttles back to idle. We haven't got long to go to the runway here, so we get our taxi checklist going. So, taxi checklist, cargo transfer. We'll start that first. CG, flight engineer, trim for takeoff.
Trim to takeoff.
Engine rating mode is in the takeoff position. Engine auto ignition goes on, and the auto throttles go on. Master drain heaters are on. ADS engine probe heaters and pressure static heaters go on. Fuel panels all good. The anti-skid system we're happy with here. We need to get the D-air pumps on in the back here. So DR1, DR11, and the standby valves will open up. So the aircraft is powered. Check we've got all the valves, 7 feed pumps, forward bay, everything's all good. Right, we'll hold Alpha 1. Kai-Tak traffic speed by Concorde 1 lining up for runway 13 on Kai-Tak. Everything's clear on our right. Full takeoff checklist then. Transponders on, we'll get the landing lights on. And taxi turn-off lights can come on too. We'll line up on the runway. Brake temperature warnings we're happy with. Takeoff mode can go on. Reheats armed. Clock has been set to the chrono position and we're ready to go. Lining up on the runway. Try and keep it nice and central here. Right, we've got some of the takeoff lights on. These aren't all of them. If I go here, this is all the takeoff lights. You'll see it gets even brighter. As they come on, there we go. That's the full takeoff lights. There we go. Right, bring it to a stop then.
Three, two, one.
Fantastic. Flight controls checked. We'll set our V1 speeds up on the left. All ready to go. Speeds confirmed. And Kai-Tak traffic speed by Concorde 1 rolling from runway 13. 3, 2, 1. Now, power up. Thrust alive. Reheat's good. Speed building. It's going to be quite a quick takeoff run here. So.
Airspeed building.
Airspeed building, fantastic. 3, vertical speed.
100 knots.
Power set.
Power set.
A little bit of forward pressure on the stick there, just hold the nose down. Whilst it's quite a bumpy runway. V1.
Rotate.
Rotate. Positive pitch.
V2.
Ready. Wait for the positive rate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Continue pitch.
Positive climb.
Positive climb. We're up. Quick flyby view.
Status.
Watch your ears. That's climbing out. Amazing. And acquire 250 knots afterburners off. Track heading 136, autopilot enabled. Flight directors on. So that we can watch outside. We're airborne, guys. Tokyo Haneda behind us. Oh, sorry, no. Kai-Tak behind us. On our way to Haneda. Beautiful, look at that. Kai-Tak traffic speed of Concorde 1 is airborne, climbing through 3,000 for 7,000. Lovely plane. Lovely city in the background. Amazing. See a bit of a trail coming off the wings there. Just hop inside, make sure everything's all good. Yep, we're climbing nicely. Right, let's get the taxi lights off and we'll leave the landing lights on. They're the shoulder ones. The landing lights and taxi lights are the ones underneath the nose here. Amazing. See Kai-Tak behind us there. In a lovely climb out. And I'm just overshooting our track here, so if we turn left, all the way left, we're just gone past it slightly. Coming left onto the INS tracking now. It's going to be waypoint 1 to 2. I'm just going to get us back in line with it as we continue our climb. Let's prime up to 300 knots. Plane's climbing very nicely there. With the sun. Oh, lovely. We're getting some screenshots there in the chat. That's very nice. Lovely. Right. Climbing away nicely then. Let's reduce our pitch a little bit. Start to reduce it a little tad. Take it once and come off. We're going to raise the nose. Nose is coming up. Good. And we'll apply 300 knots there. Allow the speed to build. And let's turn right onto our INS track. Brilliant. Now we'll bring the visor up too, as we're starting to get quite quick. And there's 7,000 there, so the speed's going to build nicely. We'll keep it building up to 350. I'll dial in 28,000, sorry. Get that climb going. 2,000 feet. Trim the aircraft for flight.
Fuel trim to flight.
Lovely. Set our altimeter to 2992. 350 knots, it's good, it's got it. That's a nice climb. Into the back then, air control switches can come over to normal position, and the engine limiters can go to normal and high. But we'll leave the brake fans on until we're happy we're going to make our supersonic climb. Landing lights can come off then. Seatbelt signs will stay on though, because we're going to be making that acceleration, and it's quite a kick in the seat, so we want to make sure everyone's all buckled in nicely. There we are, climbing up through the cloud. Nice. Through 10,000, then we'll bring the speed up again to 384. Well, not quite through 10,000, but as we do, I've neglected that slightly there on the heading. I forgot to engage INS mode, so let's bring it back onto the INS. Let's switch to INS nav, although it throws it around in INS
10,000
nav.
feet.
Flyby mode, so keep the ears closed. Lovely. Very nice. There we go, we're onto the INS nav. So it's distance time on the right. Look at that, engines aren't even working hard to keep us climbing. Lovely. 384. That's just the 0.95 speed when you're at 28,000, so that's why we've dialed that one in. Overhead panel, just doing a quick check. Looks all good. Pedestal, same thing. Everything looks all good. Nothing on TCAS, we'll set the range up a bit. It's all good. And let's increase our climb rate then. Just knows that we'll get going. Nose is pitching up, I'll say, to about 10 degrees. Oops, I reset the chrono. Oh well, that's fine. I'm going to be used a minute. Keep pitching up the nose slightly. Try and get this climb rate up. We want to get to 28,000 so we can begin that supersonic speeds. This is normally a 3-hour flight or so, if you were a subsonic aircraft. So, that's amazingly quick in Concorde. Right. We're approaching Magog. There's no specific point for us, because of course the coast is off to our left there, but we're quite a bit of a distance away out into the sea now, so we're able to begin the acceleration sort of as soon as we're ready. And Kaitac traffic speed of Concorde 1 is climbing through flight level 190, flight level 280. At flight level 280 we'll begin supersonic acceleration, flight level 600, speed of Concorde 1. Good. 19,500. Really go. Let's go 6,000 feet per minute. See if the plane can handle that kind of a climb. Wow, it's coping very well. It's only a 10-degree pitch as well. Nice. Just did the quick reacquire there to try and get it to capture 384 specifically. At this point it was sort of hovering around the 381 mark. Wanted to make sure that we were going to get right up to the 384. Climbing very quickly now then. Dramatic sequence of events, his takeoff. Always very quick to do everything. We were out that bay super quickly. Lovely. 27,000, I'm going to reduce the climb right there so that it levels off nicely. Okay. Let it level off or whatever. It seems. Nope, it's changing. Okay, right, it's altitude hold we'll switch to. Let's select up 50,000 feet. Right, 50,000 selected. Auto throttling code off. Let's just have a quick look on the map where we are. No turns coming up initially. We're all happy to go. Altitude acquire. Max climb. We'll throttle up to full dry power there. Full power through the engines and reheat 2 and 3, cutting in 1 and 4, cutting in there. There we go, real push back in the seat.
Throttle back or climb.
And Speedbird Concorde 1 beginning supersonic acceleration. And we're supersonic. No bumps, no bangs. Concorde.
30,000 feet.
30,000. Look at that altitude. Go. Wow. Climbing quickly there. Right. But we're all happy for the supersonic acceleration. That's all good. Engine reheat seems to be working nicely. Everything's all good in the back then. Watching the cargo weight start to move backwards. 5A and 7A have been emptied. The DEF pumps in 11 are keeping that all good. In tanks 10, 11. Nice. That seems good. $54 tons of fuel then. That's plenty of fuel. Absolutely fine. Back 1.12. Aircraft sort of lowering the climb right there. Flyby view, so watch it. The speed's really increasing. No speed. And here comes the Kaboom. There it is. Amazing. I'm going to get a screenshot outside, so as I said before. Yeah, just passed through waypoint 2 then. Reads are all active. So far we've used 2 minutes and 37, and because I've reset it, that's 3 minutes and 37.
Mach 1.3. Ramps moving confirmed.
Ramps moving confirmed. Fantastic. No defects then. We're happy. The ramps are starting to deploy. They break up the shockwave and things. They are sort of essential. So that's why I hadn't turned off the brake fans yet, because of course, if it didn't work, we would be diverting back. So that's good. That's worked. So brake fans can come off then. As I'm happy, we're good with it. No need to return back to the airfield now. Aircraft is climbing nicely, hydraulics seem stable. Fuel's moving back. Nice. Plane's flying nicely. Back into the front. Did Concorde really fly this route, KC? Yeah, I believe it did. So Concorde in its world tour, the British Airways took it on a sort of promotional campaign. I believe it flew sort of all around the world, and actually I believe it did fly. It flew into Kaitak certainly. And I think it came from Tokyo to Kaitak. I'm pretty sure. I will check for you though. Let me check. I'm pretty sure though.
40,000 feet.
November 1976, it first arrived in Hong Kong. Stay for 2 days, part of a 31,000-mile promotional sales tour of the Far East. But yeah, British Airways took it on this one. Let's have a look. From Manila, actually. Okay, arrived from Manila. Right. Oh yes, okay. It's quite a short flight that from Manila. I wonder if they actually managed to break the sound barrier. And then it stopped here for 2 days in the Kaitak before returning. But it did go to Tokyo Haneda. Yeah, Manila to Singapore. In 1 hour and 53 minutes. Wow. Not very long at all. So it did fly all around it then, sort of on promotion. And yeah, so it's certainly been into Kaitak. However, I don't believe it actually flew, and it's been to Haneda, but it hasn't flown this.
I suggest reheat off.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. Ah, yes. You can have your reheats off. 1 and 4, 2 and 3. And this is where it's really special, because this is where Concorde really comes into its element, being able to do this super cruise with no afterburners. This is a feature that military jets, the Tupolev and aircrafts alike cannot do. They can't cruise supersonically without reheats on, so it's a really amazing feature of Concorde, this. Nice. So, we're moving quickly then along. We're just still off the south coast of China. No major towns are passing near recently. Wow, I'm just enjoying Navigraph here, but amazing features. Let me just pop this up so you can see what I'm looking at. This is our routing for today. Bring it up. There we are. But I'm playing around with the map here. They've got some new features. You can go into sort of 3D mode. Amazing. But here's the aircraft. We're just heading along. If I bring it up, there. You can see we're heading along our routing today, across the top of Manila, around and across. Very nice. Coming up to 50,000 feet, then the plane's going to level off just to allow the speed to get up. Haven't flown Concorde, parked it in the garage. Ah, missing out. Fair enough.
Feet.
Lovely. 50,000, then the plane's just leveled off for a minute. I'm just going to allow the speed to build up to Mach 2. When he says Mach 2, we're then going to engage max cruise, max climb.
Passing Mach 2.
Mach 2, max climb, max cruise. There we go. And at 50,000 feet, seatbelt signs can come off.
Overspeed warning. Throttle back or climb.
It's going to be climbing, so that should deal with that problem itself. Just bear with it, it'll pop up a little bit and help fix that. Lovely. Just going to do a heading hold here because otherwise we'll be weaving around left and right. Just go heading hold and like activate INS if we come back across. Right, overspeed warning's gone away and temperature on the skid is what we've next got to look at. It's at 77 now, so just turn off static heaters and ADS and probe heaters. When we hit 60,000 feet then, we're going to turn the engine ratings into flight and cruise. So in fact actually, engine can come into flight now, and then we'll put them into cruise if we hit 60,000 feet. Lovely. Lovely. It was climbing very quickly then, through 63. It was still climbing very fast here. Hope it comes to Xplane in 12. I agree. Have you got a Concorde 2 on your drive, Pillow? I know. Yes. Yeah. MSFS is trying to get the new gliders. I haven't tried out the new gliders. I've uninstalled MSFS at the moment, but with the addition of the A310, which I've got an Xplane 11, but I'd like to have a spin of it in it. Might just fly some Seat handles and things like that. It could be quite interesting to see how it handles, because from what I've seen, it looks like it sort of really bounces around. So interesting to see how that plays out. And then, yeah, of course, the gliders. I mean, that's an amazing feature. I would like to definitely have a look at. I wasn't paying attention here. Hold on, I've let the plane drift off. drift off course. Lovely, Mach 2 through 550 already. We're quite light today. We have got 4 passengers on board, but not much fuel. We're already down to 48 tons, so I think that's the reason for our quick climb. I'm just going to quick check on the iPad just to make sure I've got the waypoints all in properly. I have. Good. No errors with the aircraft then. It's all flying lovely. Very nice. Good. Aircraft's all very nice then. We've got a wind of 14 from 166. Yeah. Bit of wind then, that's alright. We're just coming across onto the INS routing here. Ready to change to INS nav now. Right and left. We always lose a bit of speed in these turns at this high altitude. It's always a bit annoying. Oh, good to meet. Sorry guys, I forgot to put the stuff at the top. There we go. Sorry, I've had that on the I've had that running the whole time. Apologies, I forgot to put it on. Brilliant, we can see Taiwan ahead of us there. So there's mountains in the distance. Then can't, oh yeah, just a little bit see China off to our left, so we really are right in the sort of little sea in between Taiwan Sea or Chinese Eastern Sea, South China Sea, oh yeah, that area. Big turn here, making our left. So this next sort of waypoint here is going to take us onto the clipping the top of Taiwan. So this is where we have to apologise for making lots of noise over their neighbourhood. Surfers put the other one to free and everything. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. Well, exactly. I think that is a bit. That is a question I did when they released it. I was like, oh god. Yeah, exactly. We've all paid full price for it on Xplane 11 and they've just gone, dropped it for free in Microsoft Flight Sim. Unfortunately, it looks like people are jumping ship from Xplane 11 and the Xplane series, and actually hopping over to Xplane, hopping over to Microsoft Flight Sim, which is oh no, we're going to lose all our Xplane developers. They've got to someday. They'll bring. I'm sure. I hope they'll bring Concorde to Xplane 11 Colimata, because it's very much an Xplane aircraft. The way it works, you know, the system depth. I think it wouldn't really work in Microsoft Flight Sim, as has been sort of shown by the Concorde for Microsoft Flight Sim. It's died out quite quickly because it's just not very effective. It's quite difficult to fly. And so I think the fact that this has stood the test of time and is still very popular with lots of people. I think it's cool. Right, 57.6, we're climbing up nicely there. We're still just tracking up along that coast. I'm just watching a cinematic. It looks like the nose wheel on the A310 doesn't move. That must be a bug, because that does not look very good at all. I've got to check this MSFS A310. It looked in this video I'm watching, I'll bring it up, it looked like the nose wheel didn't move when he was taxiing around. Oh, that would not be... And then of course the A380X, have we all been seeing the test flights for that? That's exciting. It is, isn't it? The controls are, oh no, they're not very good, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that, to be honest. It's, the EFB they've got though does look very nice. And of course the texturing is yeah, fantastic, but again, it's just the controls and stuff. And I don't know what it is, it's sort of, for me it's the Microsoft Flight Simulator handling and the way that sort of features in. That's why I like Xplane. But, oh well, everyone's got to have different opinions. It makes it interesting. Yeah, let's have a look at this. I'll bring this up in a second. A trade with Microsoft Flight Sim. Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do? Made a trade with Microsoft Flight Sim. How so? Trawling through videos here trying to find where if we can get an external view of it taxiing, because I think the nose wheel didn't move, and bearing in mind everyone's slated Tollis for having the taxi camera wheel not move. I'm amazed that this has not been sort of suggested yet, because often people love to jump on suggesting it's not very good. Let's have a look. Now, can I ask for you guys in the chat? Does anyone know why the pardon me, I've lost my words here. Why on the A320 they use a chrono just before they take off? They set the chrono up, and when do they turn it off? Because of course in Concorde I know why we do that. You know, it's to time the afterburners and how long we're using them for. But I don't know what the deal with doing that in a sort of Airbus aircraft or similar would be, because of course, well, I don't know what they're timing. Is it sort of like the climb rate, or what are they trying to climb? What are they trying to sort of count? Sorry. Thank you. It'd be appreciated. No, thank you. Anyone in the chat? Well, they do have replay mode as well. Ah. I mean, yeah, I'm always torn. I think I'll reinstall Microsoft Flight Simulator as soon as I finish the stream today, because I just one of my corporates pays me for my Game Pass. Fair play deal. Yeah, I'm going to reinstall Microsoft Flight Sim, because it's just it's the quality of the graphics. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to hop in and not see sort of jagged clouds or whatever, and see some cool graphics, and then come back to Xplane and do some sort of flying. I don't know. I have to keep cycling between the two. You know, they're both amazing. Also, ignitions are on flight. We're not quite at 60,000, so I won't switch to cruise yet. Fuel's ticking along nicely. We're down to 43 tons. Got a projected 1,600 miles of fuel. So yeah, seems good. Right, let's just check up on the. Oh, let's check up on the METAR over at Haneda, because I was interested to see what runway they're using. Runway 34s are in use. Okay. That's good by me. 3-4, that seems fine. Did you obligatory military service in a tank battalion? Oh wow, is that a thing in France? So still obligatory military service? Wow. Tank battalion, that's cool. I think you probably chose best out of a not particularly good choice. Right, arrivals. Let's have a quick look. So, here are our arrivals. Add in these new features. Right. So, our final waypoint then of the flight is X-Ray Alpha Charlie. From X-Ray Alpha Charlie, the 2 hotel arrival makes you do a very sharp right-hand turn all the way around on this big extended green routing all the way up and round to then join the ILS for 3-4. My proposition plan is to cut some of this out, because this I don't really know why you wouldn't fly across here. Unless it's like some high land features. Have a look at obstacles. Obstacles. No, tire terrain. No, it's all pretty low. Like 1,300 feet. That's fine. That's good by me. I don't think that's really a concern. That's fine. Alright, well what we'll do is we'll go from X-ray Alpha Charlie. We'll go to PQD. Add it in. We'll go to PQD. Just got a VOR frequency, so we'll tune that. Fly to that. Back in the days, yeah. It's pretty cool, mate. That's pretty cool. From PQD we'll head to Camel for the or actually, hold on, let's check the arrivals. That's the one. Edit that. It had for the ILS Zulu, oh no, not 34 left. ILS Zulu 34 left. This is the one, 34 left. ILS Zulu 34 left. I don't want that. Where was the one I had? VORDB. I'll select an approach. I'd like ILS Zulu. Was it 3-4 right then? I must have had. Yeah, it must have been 3-4 right. Well, we can land 3-4 right, it's not really a problem. So if we do ILS Zulu 3-4 right, R-long transition. We'd come in from the left there to make that turn. So from PQD it'll be direct R-long. We're not going to fly this arrival. It's just not effective. Yep. That seems like a good route to me. That'll do. Right, we better do some programming. Passing away from 7 to 8, wow, okay. We need to do some programming. Still reverse this? Yeah. Before breaks out, John too. Ah. Yeah, I suppose that is unfortunate. But tanks are quite cool, I suppose. Right, let's do some reprogramming. Waypoint 1, Tonar, 2949. Although you should speak about that, because I'm sure if flying a plane you'd be very good. Waypoint 11, Yulia. It's at 31430. East 135. 04.6. Waypoint 3, Melville 3216. Eastings 13605. Point 6. Good. Waypoint 4, which is actually waypoint 13. It's Gooper, which is north 3344.7. East 138. 543. Waypoint 5, which is waypoint 14, is north 3404.3, east 139, 337. Right, that's waypoint 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was waypoint 14. Waypoint 15, which we can program because we're already on 8 to 9, is X-ray Alpha Charlie, which is 3442. 7, Eastings 139. 108. Brilliant. That is our waypoints programs. There's everything done. So, are we coming up to halfway? Oh no, sort of getting towards halfway. Right, PQD then, that waypoint we're going to go to after X-ray after Charlie is 112.5. We'll be flying to it on a 67-degree heading, ideally. That'll take us across there. Then from there, to go from PQD to Arlon, in this sort of direct line, join, it's going to be a 21-degree heading, which we can set up there. Once we're there, onto the ILS then, ILS Zulu, it's going to be 108.9 and a 337 degree. Very good, and we'll be down at 4,000. For the interception to that ILS. It's from Cacao is the ILS begins. So yeah, ILS begins from Cacao, so that means sort of got to get the turns in quick then, because we hit Camel then Cacao, so we want to make sure we're on it. To discussing the war. Yeah, stuff. Lovely. No, not that. But we're passing 58,700 feet. We are doing well. Or we might hit 60. I'm not sure. We're burning through the fuel quite nicely. But then I took quite a lot of spare fuel on board here. We might have to do some fuel dumping just to bring our weight down a little bit. Yeah. Although I daren't do that because last time I did that, I crashed. So we won't be doing that next time. So auto. Allow it to go into the auto position. Okay. Right. Position. Fuel dumping. Fuel jettison. Jettison drill. Oh, you have to max speed 0. Okay, that's fine. We'll slow down when it comes to that. The reheat's off. Yeah, you would do that. Just open. Oh, okay. That seems very easy. I daren't try it though. We'll try and burn some fuel. Try and burn some fuel along our way.
Fuel status, 40 tons.
Tons, that's good. Plenty of fuel left. That's all fine. We'll come back to waypoint 9. Pardon me. We've done all our reprogramming, so when we hit it, we'll just have to go back round the circle, as I like to think of it, the nice circle of waypoints. I need to add that in on the YouTube tutorial. I add in the circle of waypoint explanation. A lot of rudder deflection there, it keeps flickering. If you look on the control surface, we've got a lot of rudder flickering there. I'm not quite sure why. How odd. wonder why it's doing that. Back into the cabin then. Everyone's having some cups of tea and food. Minus 57 outside, but we're doing 1,340 miles per hour. I believe we have... Oh, hold on, I'm going to go back into the flight deck. Let's have a look at the wind. We must have some sort of tailwind going on here. 18 at 241. 241, yeah, a bit of a tailwind. Doing 1,167 knots. So, not the quickest we've seen ever, but also very much not the slowest. So that's good. Champagne and caviar, yes. You're right, not tea, yeah. Champagne and caviar, indeed. Isn't that nice? I'm sure everyone is enjoying it. So I turned up the bitrate quality on the video, so now you guys can watch in 1080p. And 1080p is actually what I have on my TV, so I can't really go any more than that. But Goose, hey, how you doing? More lighting, a lot of lighting options on board. Right, overhead panel seems all good. Main pedestal seems all good. Everything's good. He'd put out his tray table, I'm sure he's also got food. Brake fans all off, hydraulics seem all good. Just doing a quick scan. Looks good in 1080. Okay, cool, thanks. It's good to know. I'm glad it's working well. Goose is doing good. Nice. Glad you are. How far till... 33 miles. Okay, we're coming up on that. Right, so we'll go to waypoint page. We'll go to... What's that? Wind. We'll leave that on wind. Set that to distance. To waypoint. Set that to pulse. Good. Oh, who's this? Ichion Control. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk to him. I'm just going to open up Vatsim by Pro Streamer. Oh, meant to say, ATC. So you reminded me. Air traffic controlling. I've got my licenses back. I only lost it because I stopped doing controlling for a while. We have it back, so we shall be getting on with that, I think. We'll do some cool streaming at some point. Ah, he's come from Tokyo Narita. No, we're going to Haneda. This is the much bigger. Tokyo Haneda is, I think, much bigger than Narita. A bit nicer too, I think. In my opinion. Well, I've never had a look properly. Sort of zoom in on the airport on the map. Where is... Ah, there's Narita. Mind you, actually, Narita's a pretty big airport. Oh, wow, and the runway sort of goes off into the middle of nowhere. Interesting. We shall have to explore. Nice. We shall have to explore at some point Tokyo Narita. So I'm now interested. I think there's a lot of opportunity for streaming around Japan. There's some cool airports, cool approaches. I'd like to one day try out the Osaka crazy turn, 180-degree turn into Osaka. Like if I get up the charts, we can have a look. Go to Osaka. Let me bring up on the stream so you guys can see. Osaka. If we have a look at the scenery. On one of them, is it the R&P? No. It's one of them. We'll find it, we'll find it. Aha! Here it is. So, that's the go around. No, oops. That's also the go around. One of them. Let me find it. Which one is it? One of these ones. It's crazy. There's only 2 runways. Oh. Oh, they no longer publish approaches for the other runway. They must have closed it down. How amazing. They've closed it, I guess. Anyway, it used to be that you'd have to do this turn, 180 degree turn. Must have closed it. Oh, I wonder why they've done that. I guess it's proved unsafe, I suppose. It is pretty dangerous, yeah, to be honest. It's a pretty dangerous approach. Fortunately for us today, we're just on a standard ILS, so our descent will be nice and gentle. No surprises, everything all nice and good. The ILS brings it in, we're going to be landing, what did I say, 3-4 right? Yeah, 3-4 right. And from there we'll taxi into the nearest gate that we can. Landing 3-4 right is actually quite exciting, only sort of, only a little bit, because we're going to go over the other runways. There's a runway that goes across, which we're going to head over, so we'll be quite low going across it, so that should be exciting. I'll have a look for that. I've just found some $0 payware scenery for Tokyo Haneda, which looks very, very good. Have a look at $0 payware. $59,000. We're climbing. We might get 60. I just don't know. We are now sort of approaching the southwestern coast of Japan, so we might not make it up there. We're slowly sort of creeping up to our full cruise altitude here, so I'm pleased about that. That's very good. Ah, we've passed through it. I have not set up the next one. Waypoint change, 9 to 1. Insert waypoint change. should be a slight right-hand turn here. Because it was pretty much the same heading, because it was still on the same airway. So, actually, there you go. So, it's a heading difference of 64 and 68. So, fortunately, we didn't drift too far off track, I've noticed. Glad we realised that one. That's alright. Okay, well now we're going back round the waypoints again. So we'll continue on. So there's an army of pigeons outside my window, just sort of suddenly appeared. I forgot what I was going to say now. It's thrown me slightly. Keep the throttles opened. Okay. Everything's all good on the overhead. What's our TMO? 123. We're not overheating. Plane's flying beautifully. It's all very nice. Very, very good. And we're making very good time. We've only been live for about an hour and 17 or so. It's amazing. We're making incredible time. But, wow. We need to find a longer route for Concorde. But we will. Our next stream will not be straight into this place. Sorry, it will not be in Concorde. This is sort of an ongoing adventure we're going to slowly do over the course of a few weeks and things. But our next route for Concorde with this will be to take us down to Honolulu in Hawaii. This is the halfway stop for our routing all the way across. Where our routing on this adventure is going to take us Kaitak to Tokyo, which we're doing today. Then from Tokyo we will head across to Honolulu, as I said, and then from Honolulu across to San Francisco, which should be an exciting flight for Concorde. That's an amazing landing. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That's going to be a good. That's going to be really fun. So yeah, looking forward to that. That should be a really fun little flight. I'm planning our next stream, if you guys are happy for it, to be from into Rio de Janeiro. So I'm not quite sure where from. Probably from sort of where up on the northern end of the country, down to there in that sort of area. So let me have a look. What was I going to say? Where is it? What's it called? Let's have a look. Where is it? Cartagena. That's a long flight, of course, all the way across there, because Rio's a long way down. So we'll have to find somewhere else to fly from. Maybe Montevideo. Somewhere around there. Oh, and then I hope you all checked out the short of landing Concorde and Ascension Island. I had taken off from Rio, testing out some new scenery I'd got for there, and I flew. All the way from Rio to Ascension. Of course, in Concorde, it only took me sort of 3 hours or so, but it was really, really good fun. So I recommend, because of course you descend and there's nothing there, and then you see a tiny little island, little speck that is there. So it's quite exciting. So yeah, we'll be doing our tour of the US through when we go from San Francisco across to Kennedy. We'll do a nice tour through the Rockies and mountains and places like that. So we'll sort of descend down to about 8,000 during that flight. Really low. Have a look around. Exciting stuff. So, we're just coming up to Tonar, which is right off the south coast of Japan. Where are we nearby? Kano, near Shimizu, sort of off the southwest coast of Japan. And the idea of this routing that we've taken is to keep us well south of the islands, so supersonic, right the way up until we make that left turn into the bay of Tokyo. Good. Sorry, you're following me on Volanta? Ah, brilliant. Right, there we go. We've made our turn there through waypoint 1, or in this case 10. Big turn here. We've got a big leg of about 203 miles on this leg, which is a long way. 5,600 miles remaining. Ah, not bad. We've done about 1,000 then in that case, which is very good going. That's the one. Hey,
60,000
there.
feet. Maximum flight level.
Fantastic. Okay. Lovely. Engine rating to cruise. We're there. We're leveled off. Oh, we're restricted by temperature here on the skin, not so much speed. So if I go Mach hold now, it's going to back off the throttle. Mach 2.02. We're now very quick. 29 minutes. Wow. Well, that's quick. Wow. We certainly are. Certainly are moving, aren't we? The speed of this plane is amazing. Yeah, look at this distance here thing. Look at that ticking down. Wow. That's speed. What's the wind like? 20 at 289. 289. Yeah, it's just coming sort of from behind us. So we're getting a bit of a boost, I think, with our speed here. That is quick. We're moving quickly. Right, I'm going to pop out for just a second, guys. I'm going to leave you up in... Sorry, pardon me. I'm going to leave you up in this view here, watching the goings on of the aircraft. I'll be back in... What is the time little thing? What does this say? Back in 5. Ah, okay. I'll be back in 5 then. See you in a minute, guys. Sorry everyone, back there. Thank you very much. That was a little bit of an extended break. Apologies for that. Take a little bit of time. How are we doing then? How's the plane doing? Where are we? 100 miles to waypoint 4. What is waypoint 4? That is the question. Oh wow. We're right off the south coast of Japan. Yeah. Okay, right. We're really getting there then. Better start our descent, I think. What altitude do we need to be at? Sort of X-ray Alpha Charlie, I'd say about 7.6. Yeah, about 10,000 or so. Okay, well, let's begin our descent then, I suppose. Yeah, we better get going down. Haneda traffic, speedboat Concorde 1. Beginning subsonic deceleration from flight level 600 to flight level 120. 120. Primed up. Auto throttle off.
Throttle off.
Throttle back. Altitude required, vertical speed. Down we go. Seatbelt signs on. Engine rating climb. And as we start to descend, we'll have to get the heaters on, as and we see fit. 27 tons of fuel left. Still too heavy to land. I need to burn at least 7 of them, so... Had a click from ATC. Ah, okay. What did we get? Oh, just looks like it's some people just doing stuff. Fortunately, there's no ATC online. Well, not fortunately, but no ATC online right now. So hopefully it'll be alright. Alright, we're descending there. I can confirm. I better increase the descent rate a little bit. Try and get us down. You see, that's a 4,000 feet per minute descent rate over flat. So it's quite an amazing amount of power looks still going through the engines. I'm just going to do a bit of manual there. Try and bring them back. Yeah, got to be delicate with the throttle in Concorde. Don't want to bring it back too much. Don't want to risk getting into a stool or any position like that. Right, down then. We're going down, down, down. Rapidos. Let's bring that descent rate up to 6,000 feet. Let's start to really descend. Let's throttle back slightly. Now, notice as we throttle back, because we're changing the heat coming out the engine, the vapor trails get closer. If I idle the throttle, you can see they get really close and actually start being produced from inside the engine. And as I increase the throttle, they get further away. So, a feature of most modern aircraft. It's really quite noticeable on Concorde, I think, because of the power and the heat coming out of the engines. Right, descending nicely then. I won't trim for descent, because trimming for descent sends the cargo position forwards, and by doing that I'd risk overspeeding. Set the little white bar up to 13.5 degrees, so we know that where our maximum tail strike is. Altitude and speed both coming down. Still got a bit of distance to go. I'm just going to pitch up a bit and allow the speed to hold a little bit. Fine balance here. We want to keep the speed up, but not necessarily the altitude. We're still at 44,000 feet, so we are still very high and getting very close. Start to turn on the heaters. Good. Bring our limiters into place. Now I'll turn on the brake fans as we start to land. Brakes test. Nice and cold. Everything seems to feel good. Feels good moving aft down to 26 tons. I'm trying to keep the power up on the engines a bit here, as we want to keep burning through the fuel. Because we're too heavy to land still. We need to lose about 6 more tons to be able to land. So I'm trying to keep a lot of thrust through the engine still. Just going to reduce that descent rate a little bit. In fact, I'm going to reduce it a lot here. Level out the aircraft slightly here in a sort of transonic hold. Yeah, we'll just sort of hold our max speed around here.
Mach overspeed warning. Throttle back or climb.
My bad entirely. Bring it back a bit. There we go. Increase the descent rate slightly. As I said, I'm sort of trying to balance the descent here just to keep burning fuel, because we're still 6 tons too heavy to land. So we need to keep the fuel burning. Might have to do a couple of holding patterns just to bring the weight down enough. It's going to be a quick touchdown otherwise. We won't need the main landing lights. We'll turn on the taxi light for touchdown. There's a lot of thick cloud. Should be interesting landing here. I think the weather. I think it's raining slightly in Narita. Oh, there we go. Making the turn towards X-Ray Alpha Charlie. Re-increase our descent rate. Let's drop down. Look at the Mach overspeed is coming down quickly in line with us here. That's idle throttle. Descent's going nicely down. I'm just trying to find the charts up on my end here. Okay, that's all right. Get some power going through the engines again. Through 27,000. Throttle's back up there. We'll try and hold speed around 350. Very good. We're heavy. We are heavy. Should we try a fuel dump, or is this a risky business that might end going horribly? Why not try it? So, reheats are off. 1, 2. This feels risky. Let's just try it quickly. Did that do anything? Oh, I've got to go back and have a look at the fuel. 650. Let's try this. I don't think any fuel's being jettisoned. Oh no, what do I do? Open. Oh, well, all the fuel valves are open. Okay, maybe that doesn't do anything. Oh, track heading. Heading hold. It's going mad. Switch to nav. Go to 1225. Track heading, go right. Go right. It's gone wrong. Right, there we go. Haneda traffic, speed record of 1. Trying to turn towards Papa Quebec Delta for the ILS runway 34 right. Tokyo Haneda, speed record of 1. I just feel dumb. I know, it's not good, is it? I don't know how we do it. So, into auto. That looks like jettison, that doesn't look good. I think we're just going to have to try and burn some somehow. Some of the ILS doesn't want to do the VOR either. Let's try 1088. That. Yeah, let's try 1125 again. It's got a distance to it. It's it's 12,000 then. Get our landing mats on. Continue descent. 8,000. Lower the landing gear. Yeah, I'm unfortunately, it might have to come to that. We're just too heavy. KH 1020. KH set 10,000 then. 250. Acquire. Set up our minimums for landing. Touching down is going to be 220. About to trim for the landing. Flight engineer, yeah, trim for landing.
Fuel trim to landing.
Right, this cargo is just shot forwards. That's good. And we'll put the visor down. Continue descent for 7,000. We'll hold at 7,000. Push the nose up slightly, just for reduce those.
Wrong fuel trim. Should I?
Nope. Fuel trim to landing, that's good. Still on course. We're drifting slightly, I'm going to be honest. If I get up my Avi tabs so you guys can see what I'm up to. We're just about on course. There's a lot of here, that's alright. It's IS Zulu 34, right? That's what we're taking. You can see where we are here. So if that's essentially what's going on. If I bring up this and I can show you. This is what I'm working off. The VOR here didn't capture. Yeah, it probably is a bit weird on that. This VOR didn't capture, so I've made a sort of right and turn long gear, and then we're going to go left 21 and head up towards the ILS. Because I don't know why, but this VOR wasn't happy. So that's the plan. So let's go. We're going to go left 21 degrees when we hit this VOR in a second. I'm at the 8.9, got that. That's on the ILS. Getting ready, we'll make our left turn then, so left 040. Now we're coming up, the nose is starting to rise to 10, so we'll put the nose down. Right, nose is down at 10 degrees. Or it's 5 degrees actually, my bad. Right. We're now heading north to intercept our radial. So we're here. We're sort of heading across, about to turn dead north. We're going to intercept that ILS beautifully, is the plan. So we need to continue our descent 4,000, because that's the ILS capture altitude. Let's try to slow up about 220 knots. Okay, getting there. Back off the speed. 230. We're going to be landing quite heavy. We're actually above the landing weight by about 3.5 tons, so we are quite heavy. So it might be a little bit tricky landing, but I'm hoping we'll burn a bit of the fuel in doing this tracking manoeuvre north, and we should be fine in that case. So by slowing up, the engines are going to have to work a little bit harder to hold speed, and that's good. We'll burn a bit more fuel. Because I was expecting it to be a little bit slower, the flight, and a little bit windier, but it's been quite quick, and the winds have been in our favour. So we've overshot my estimates on that. And left heading 021. This is now towards Camel. We're heading to now. From here we'll get a VOR lock. And we're just continuing our descent 4,000 feet. Reduce that slightly, there's a couple of mountains and things below us, which I would hate to hit. We'll turn our taxi turn lights and landing lights on too. There are the taxi turns inside the aircraft there. In fact, let's turn them off to lower the gear. 26 miles. That's good. Still heading up north. Lovely aircraft, look at that. We're stuck in the middle of some thick cloud here. It looks amazing. Oh, we can see the land below us. Yeah, there are lots of mountains where we are. Yep. I can see them just about below us. It's a bit scary that, going through the mountains, going through a very mountainous region with almost no visibility. Okay, I'm sure that's good. Let's turn on the fog lighting. Get the big landing lights on the shoulders. Yeah, they're on there, should help us see through a little bit better. Right, engines are powering up to try and run 230. We got 2 tons of fuel still we need to burn. So once the fuel gets below 20 tons, we're safe to land. So we might have to do a holding pattern if we don't burn enough fuel. But we should be alright. This might be a bit of a heavy landing. Heavy and fast. Haneda traffic, B550 Concorde V2, establishing on the ILS 34 right. Interesting, the ILS isn't establishing for me here. There we go. Starting to get it. Right, let's turn left, heading north. Ready to capture. We've got the big fog lighting on, so that's the main landing lights as well as our little nosy ones. There are some mountains below us here. Although everything seems fine. Coming into capture. Down to 21,800. Does Concord have terrain radar? No, it does not. So we're just relying on navigation. You are like. Just overshot that. That's alright. 18 nautical miles, slow to 220. Getting dangerously close to Concords there. Still speedy. We're away from the mountains. In fact, you can see we were quite close to those mountains over there. So, within the safety limits, of course. Right, we are on the ILS. Altitude is in the hold. I'm going to go to glide mode. Glide is armed. The plane will wander down slightly until it finds the glide slope. And we're not quite there yet, so in fact I'm going to switch back to altitude hold. In case we go around, it's going to be right turn, heading 337. That's just straight ahead, isn't it? Approach climb and heading 337 to 800 feet, turn right, climb 4,000. Away from the Haneda VOR. Oh, 015. Right, go around, set then 4,000 feet. We'll set the vertical speed, which will be about 2,000 feet per minute, so touch and go. 111.7, still a little bit too heavy. Oh, it's not captured the glide. It's not captured the... Oh, I forgot to arm it, that's fine. Go down, go down. 10 miles, nose to full. I'm going to catch up with the glide slope and then we'll re-enable it. My genius plan. Haneda traffic speed of Concorde 1 finals, 10 miles to land, 3-4 right, Haneda. Gear down. Right, on the glide slope. Glide slope alive. Dial up 4,000.
Gear down.
Hey, we're on the glide slope. That's what we wanted. Right. Are we light enough to land yet? Yes, we need 100 tons, 100 kilograms to be burned, and then we're good. Nose full. Okay, slowing up. 210. We're on the glide. Massive landing lights are on. We'll get the little turn-off lights on as well. There we go, turn-off lights on. We are fully configured for landing. It's going to be a quick landing here. Haneda is up and ready. Haneda is also expecting us, so that's good.
Caution. Fuel status. 20 tons.
20 tons. We're safe to land. Afterburners armed in case we go around. Hopefully not. Afterburners are armed. Slowing. 200 knots. Slowing 190. VREF is 190, so we're at 190 there. That's our visual reference speed for the approach. Very good. and then we'll look to 180 at the touchdown. Okay, here we go. Manual control.
Autopilot off.
I have manual 190. Checked. This is the runway going from left to right. So this is what I meant when we said sort of a little bit interesting because you fly right low over the runway. So it's quite exciting. Right, everything happens quite quickly in Concorde, of course, because we're doing 190, which is much more than we'd normally be doing in an airliner. Bit of rain. It's fine.
500 feet.
5 feet. Drifting a little bit right. A little bit low. Just pitch up slightly. Ready for auto throttle to disengage automatically. We'll have to take control of that.
300.
20 feet, that's fine.
200. Auto throttle off.
I have control of the auto throttle. Bit quick.
100 feet.
100 feet. Keep the
30.
nose down. Starting to back off the throttle there.
20.
Idle throttle.
Contact.
Reverses deployed.
Reverser deployed.
162, that's not bad. For Concorde. Keep the nose coming down gently. It's nice to have a flat runway to land on for once. We often take Concorde places where it's quite bumpy. 100 knots. Stamp on the brakes a little bit because we're going quite quick. 60 knots. Reverse thrusters disarmed.
Reverser retracted.
That was pretty uneventful. Not bad. Down nicely. Haneda traffic. Speedbird Concorde 1. Vacating left. Taxiing back to the stands. Bit of braking. Bit of braking. Keep the braking going. Braking on. Make sure we vacate. Wow, we're right at the end of the runway though. So even though we're vacating, we are the last off the runway. Wow. Nice landing. Thank you very much, Casey. Well, welcome to Haneda, people. 18 tons of fuel left. Not bad. I would have been worried if we'd had to do a go-around. We wouldn't have had much to spare. I'll make a left and taxi onto a stand then. So normally we'd begin to look to shut down the other engines, but because we're quite heavy, full passengers and everything, I'd rather have all 4 of them on low RPM than 2 on quite high RPM. Especially as it's a bit wet, so we don't want to be blasting water up onto any of the ground crew. So that's water. Which is why I'd like them to bring this across to Xplane 12, because the water effects in Xplane 11 are getting there. So not quite amazing, but pretty good. Oh, my bad. There we go. Drifting. There we go. Hold it steady. I'll back off the throttle a little bit, going a bit quick. Turn-off lights can come off. It's quite bright on the ground here. Auto ignition and auto throttle can come off as well. Very cool. Welcome to a rainy Haneda. We're going to take one of these stands in here at the gates. Bring us in here. Nice streams always, thank you very much, Casey. That's very nice, thank you. We'll take a gate, however the gate won't connect because Concorde doesn't like to connect with gates for some reason. It's just one of those things. So unfortunately we won't be able to have a nice gate connecting, but that's right. Alright, well what I'm going to do is as we turn in then I'm going to turn on all the lights and get everything going once we arrive on stand so that we can look at a cool replay of course. Ah, lovely turning in of the plane there. Look at that. Fantastic. Good braking, we're going quite quick. Now I'll brake to a stop there. Like brake set. Right. Let's lower the nose. Turn on our lights. Get everything as it was. And let's watch the replay. Oh. Let me just check my computer. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, I could something going on. There we go. There we go. Right. Let's zip it back so we were on approach. There we are. Let's watch it from a tower view. It's quite cool. Well, the tower's a long way away from the runway here, but that's all right. Coming in nicely. This has got the big Tokyo red sort of triangle thing. See, there we are, coming in across the threshold. See the big, massive jets of thrust there, because the delta with the high angle attack. Lots of power to maintain flight. A bit of float, you could argue. But kept it coming down nicely. For touchdown. Lovely. There's the reversers. You see the big spool of water. That's the reversers activating. Very wet Haneda. Fast landing. I'd like to have a quick look, if that's all right. I'm just going to zip back to where we initially hit the ground. Just about here. There. So we hit it. Look, a little bit late on my part. There was a bit of floating going on. We touched down. Look, so when the reason we vacated quite so late is we touched down on a good halfway down the runway. That's the halfway mark. This thing. This is the go around point. If you go past that and you haven't put the nose down, it's a go around. So, so we were close. We were close. Reverse thrusters were activated by that point. Bad people. Welcome to Tokyo. I hope you all enjoyed that. As much as I did, actually. It was really good fun. We will continue with our Concorde adventure on our next mission, where we take her from the lovely and sunny Haneda all the way to Honolulu, even sunnier place. So, I look forward to seeing you all there, and we'll catch you again soon. Thank you very much from me. Bye-bye.